Mercedes, for the 5th year in succession, are the Constructors' champions.
5 World Championships for Mercedes-AMG Petronas.
5 championships.
When we go back to the start of the season, when you knew you had a challenge on your hands, you knew for the second time in 2 years you were going to have to fight beyond what Ferrari had brought.
Yes, it was very tough because it went up and down. We had a few good races where we recovered, and then Ferrari came back.
Sebastian Vettel wins the Canadian Grand Prix and has led this race from start to finish.
And that was pretty much the story of the season. And then towards the end, Red Bull recovered, not in qualifying so much, but in the race they played a role.
He's going down the inside. It's Max Verstappen almost on the track and manages to squeeze past Sebastian Vettel.
And it was a 3-way fight that made it even more difficult. And we came back. And for that, I'm so grateful.
It's a team that wins a championship. We've poured plaudits on Lewis Hamilton for many years. He's now a 5-time world champion. But what has Valtteri brought to the team over the past few seasons?
Valtteri is a great team player. I'm sure he wouldn't want to hear that, but as a matter of fact, he has speed.
Valtteri Bottas goes even faster in the low 103s. He loves Austria, he loves the Red Bull ring, and he loves the fact that he's on top on this Saturday afternoon.
And he came into Mercedes, was drafted late into Mercedes with the best driver as his teammate. And he had a very strong start of the season. He was unfortunate in Baku, losing a win, which could have still kept him in the championship.
Oh, there's a puncture! Bottas in the lead has now got a puncture. Lewis Hamilton is going to take the championship lead here in Azerbaijan.
Oh my God! And from then on, it kind of went away for him. And he took it with dignity and kept working hard for the team. The relationship between the driver is really a strength of this team, and insofar contributed massively to these 2 championships.
How much did his performance in the early races make Lewis have to up his game?
It played a big role because the 2 drivers that are very, very close to each other, in a competitive sense, they keep pushing each other. And we saw it, that was the positive side between Nico and Lewis, that it was a constant push. Obviously then they fell out, but with Valtteri it never came to the moment of falling out. And Valtteri would have been in the lead of the championship in Baku or around the lead if that win wouldn't have been taken away from him. And insofar he kept his strengths through these difficult days, and eventually he's going through the pain that is one day going to make him happy for sure.
Teams are only as good as their weakest link. You don't seem to have many.
We can always improve, but I think as a team we have used the difficult moments to progress rather than to panic, and we have tried to empower each other, use mistakes to improve as a collective, to work, and be it in Stuttgart or in Brixworth where the fantastic engines are made, or in Brackley, everybody contributed to this success, and it goes down to all these support functions that are sometimes so invisible but add to the performance of the team, and there's just no other place I'd rather be than work with these guys.
How enjoyable has this season been? Because the pressure's been huge.
You say success is a lousy teacher, and you never leave a race that you have won and you scrutinize yourself and say, oh, why the F did we win? So you scrutinize yourself much more if you lost it. And on Spa we came back and we felt the pain.
Here comes Sebastian Vettel. He's neck and neck with Lewis Hamilton. Vettel is alongside and ahead. Ocon is also ahead. They're 4 abreast going into Le Mans. Vettel ahead of Hamilton, ahead of Perez, ahead of Ocon.
It was really bad because we had the upgrade and it didn't work out as we wanted. Ferrari seems to be very strong, but on the Monday I felt a buzz in the 2 factories that I haven't felt before. It was almost like, okay, we have a proper fight on our hands now, and now we just have to come together as a team, enjoy this, because what would you rather do? We embrace the huge opportunity you have and be grateful for what we have, but equally push yourself to the very limit.
Do you see every member of their team reaching a new level, reaching a new height?
If the weakest link is not strong enough, you're going to lose. And what I've seen is that everybody's so motivated. Everybody wants to do a better job than his opposite person in the other team. and that kept us pushing and kept us on a constant development slope, and the drivers have done their part.
Hamilton moves out and has to go round the outside with Kimi Räikkönen. Can he take the lead of the Italian Grand Prix? Yes, he can!
They are not only great racing drivers, but they've been highly inspirational in motivating the team.
I just want to say a huge thank you to these guys and everyone back home, because without their support, without their continued efforts, this wouldn't be possible today.
Again, this is a team success. We, as a collective, we've won it. And actually, Jean-Claude just called me and says, "Welcome to the club." And it's an honor. It's an honor to join such a great team like Ferrari, who did it in the past, in the glorious Schumacher, Brown, Ferrari Byrne, and Jean-Claude times, and then us being able to replicate that is, I just need to pinch myself.
Did you ever think that those records would be broken when you set out on this exercise with Mercedes?
No, those records seem to be far, far out of reach.
What next?
What next is some drinks tonight on the plane over to the factory, but we've been already discussing why we were blistering the tires again and how we need to improve to come back strong next year and be there again in the fight for the championship.
Dare you dream of 6?
I don't want to dream of 6 yet, because we're in that hamster wheel where we already think about next year and what needs to be achieved, and I want to really cherish the moment with everybody who contributed there for the next hours at least. And I'll promise you, tomorrow back in the factory, everybody in that debriefing room is going to talk about things that went wrong and that need to be improved for next year.
Thank you.
Thank you.